Good morning, everybody. Matt with North Peoria Living. I wanted to talk some real estate with you guys here for our area. I have had a few discussions with buying and selling clients over the past 2 weeks, and I came across an article that was also brought up in a few of the conversations. So I just wanted to kind of go over it with you and give you some thoughts and some information to kind of work off of. So let's get into it here. It looks like this one comes from the National Association of Realtors, and there was a big headline that the market had fallen roughly 8.4% last year or last month, excuse me, compared to the month before. And the big headline was that's a big concern and we should all be worried. But in reality, when we look at a 4 year chart, you'll see that things are cyclical, especially in real estate. So we always have a high buy point starting in the spring, falls through the summer, and then as we get into the winter months and in the holidays, it always naturally drops off. Now, one of the big things is this drop from January of this year compared to last year was a larger drop, but what we were also seeing is the closings took longer. So a normal 30-day close that we would normally see, a lot of times we get stretched out into possibly 45, 60 days. And so there was a lag in the closing data. And so that's where the numbers are based off of is closed transactions and not listings. So that delay skewed those numbers, and those January would have been closes fall into February. Now, as we get back into February, we will see another spike if we look at the data here 2 or 3 months out from all the homes getting put on the market here in February. I personally have multiple that we're prepping to get on the market, and we will see a spike in February, and that'll kind of lead us into the spring season. So, with interest rates kind of leveling off, I've seen a couple dips over the last couple weeks as I've been talking to my lenders. So the rates are still manageable and bringing buyers back into the market. So we will see a little bit of a spike here February, possibly March, leading into the spring season because of those interest rates leveling off, giving a little bit of a cushion for buyers. And it'll actually give the buyers a little bit of an advantage here as we go into the market and we see these homes come on here in the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So it does give buyers some buying power and some negotiating, as some of our neighborhoods here in North Phoenix, North Peoria, Glendale have kind of switched over to that buyer's market rather than the seller's market we've seen over the last few years. So it's going to kind of give us a little bit of a shift in the market, but nobody really has a crystal ball. So we'll see how these next few months play out. But the headlines that we see of market crashing, it hasn't really come to fruition yet. We'll have to see how the data falls here in the springtime and see what lies ahead as far as outside factors like interest rates and that sort of thing as we get a new Fed chair and that sort of stuff that we see in the news. So time will tell there. But in the meantime, we do expect a stronger market here in February, March, and buyers will continue to be out there looking, and a lot of them are starting to come back into the market. So that is where we're at in our current market state. If you guys have any questions, specifics for neighborhoods or anything up here in North Peoria, send me a message, reach out, and let's have a discussion one on one.